Angie with QAL Creations, and welcome to week 13, block 12, the final block of Quilt Camp Quilt Along 2021, and I am so excited. This is awesome. This week's focus is the tumbler, which if you don't know what a tumbler is, it is this shape right here. And this block is all template cutting. So on each page that has these templates, there's a little square, and you want to lay a ruler over it and make sure it measures 1 inch. If it doesn't, again, take it to go to your print settings and change the print percentage, or take it to a copier and reduce or enlarge until you can get that square to measure 1 inch. So yeah, get those cut out after you check the inch, and then you can cut your fabric. I've got all my fabric cut here, and we're gonna go ahead and pretty much just assemble the rows as the diagram shows. So I will go ahead and lay that out, and then we will sew it together. Can y'all believe we are like, this is our last block? How cool! So let me lay this sucker out real quick, and we will get moving. So there is my whole block, and now I'm just going to piece it together quickly, and yeah, that's it. So I've got my block all laid out here, and the nice thing is we cut notches. The templates had notches, so it's pretty simple to lay them together, and thankfully that makes a huge difference. See here, the notches lay right together. So we just sew these puppies through, and let's see. She just tells you to pretty much press seams to the dark side, and then when you start sewing the rows together in a little bit, you will press all the rows in the same direction, either up or down with the block. Again, those little notches are super handy. That's where the seam starts, at that corner of that notch, and then over here that's where it starts on that little notch, and then it'll open up to create a nice flat top and bottom. Alrighty, so there are those, super simple. And when pinning these, you want to line up the edges, and then you're gonna kind of feel where that 1/4 inch would be. I wanna make sure I'm right, and make sure you kind of feel like they're intersecting there. So, and then I would pin it. Since these are tumblers, they won't lay like they did with the triangles and the hexagons. So you kind of have to feel it, line up these square edges as best you can, and then kind of pin those where they're gonna cross. And you can totally just feel it. I kind of measure, see if I'm close in the vicinity of those crossing, and then I'm gonna pin it. And time to sew the rows together. Super fun, super quick block. Awesome way to end this quilt along for sure. This one is pretty spot on, very happy with it. This one is still off a hair, but not enough for me to be mad and rip it out. Again, already ripped once. So I will iron that open in just a minute. And then I'm gonna do these. And again, I'm pretty much just gonna have to line up the corners over here, and then pin these in place and hope they hope they line up like I want them to. But I'm definitely gonna pin those 2 spots because there can be like stretching and movement when you're working the fabric through the machine, where if I pin it in place, I'm less likely to have that movement. So let's see if I was lucky with this row. Oh, that one is spot on. And again, that one's off like a hair, but not enough for me to redo it. So I'm happy. I'm really happy with that. I like that a lot. So now I will sew these 2 together and praise the good Lord above. Nothing has to match up, so I can just line up the corner and line up this corner and feed it through. And then I'll iron all the seams open. That is the rock climbing block, and I don't even have to trim it up, so let me check it. Pretty stinking close. It's a tad under, but I mean, not enough for me to be worried. Less than 1/4 of an inch. So that is awesome. This was a super fun block and a fun way to end the blocks for the quilt along. I love that the background on this one is our fabric E and not the white like a lot of them are, which is super cool and super fun to change it up. And yep, I really hope you enjoyed this. This might be my last video of the series. I'm not sure. I would love to do one on sashing. It just depends when he decides to make his grand entrance. But yeah, so that is week 13, block 12 of Quilt Camp Quilt Along 2021. This sampler quilt has been full of skill building and just some really fantastic blocks, as you can see behind me. And I'm super grateful for all the time you spent with me here on these videos. I hope you learned stuff. I hope you feel capable of trying practically any quilt you see nowadays, because you can do it. You are totally capable. And that was such a blast. Reminder, post your block photo by Sunday night on Instagram and do all the tags that they tell you in the email. And this week's sponsors are Fabric Stork, Rochelle Handmade, and Mini Bolts, which is super cool. That is a knockout giveaway week to end the quilt camp. And yeah, I'm so grateful. Follow all the counselors. Make sure you head over to the counselors' different websites and Instagrams and sign up for our newsletters that we do individually. If you enjoyed our teaching skills and our methods and our patterns, make sure you do that. We'd love to keep up with you and follow you, and I hope you had a wonderful time. And that's it for Quilt Camp 2021.